Well then, how do we feel about that? Oh, that's loud. Too loud. That was quite interesting. Still too loud. There we go. Let's bring you right down. Well, there you have it, everybody. Space Junkers. No, wait, it's Matt from TerraTech. No, wait, it's Lady Malishon from Twitch. From Twitch chat. How's it going, everybody? One goofy idiot on the Twitch says, "Yeah, I'm abusing this in PvP on console." Do it. Yeah, let's just say hello to everyone in chat first. How's it going? We have Nara on YouTube, Enter Name Here on YouTube, Charlotte Bacon, Rock Toxin, 19LG99, something that looks like it's in Russian. I'm not quite sure I can read that. But they're saying good evening anyway. Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Yeah, so like, as you've just seen, if you were the early birds to the stream, you would have seen the Space Junkers trailer, which we're very excited about. Lady Malishon says, "I've been waiting for Space Junkers for so long." Yeah, us too. Monster6 on the YouTube says, "Hey Matt." Hey everybody. Nicholas on YouTube says, "Hey Matt. I'm alive and well, and you?" I am. Do you know what? I'm good. I am very good, actually. No, I'm better than good. I'm great. I'm really good. So let's talk about this, shall we? Let's just talk about the series of events that led to the trailer that you've just seen. So I'm going to talk. There's going to be some spoilers for some things that we did. And if you don't want spoilers, if you want to experience the events that led to the launch of the Space Junkers announcement, I'm going to set a timer. That's what I'm going to do. 1 second. I'm going to set an alarm. Timer. I'm going to set a timer for... Actually, let's do it for 5 minutes. I'm going to set a time. I've set a timer for 5 minutes. So I'm going to talk about this this event that happened. If you don't want any spoilers, if you want to experience it yourself, oh gosh, hang on. Let me pause that. Let me start it again. I'm going to find a link for it. 1 second, everybody. We have a link that you can follow that takes you through all of the steps that you need to follow. So, we ran what's called an ARG, which is called, I think it's called like alternative reality game, or what's an alternative ARG, alternative reality game, or augmented reality game, and that led to the launch of Space Junkers. If a lot of it was run on, or the release, the announcement of Space Junkers, a lot of it was run on our Discord server. So if you, so there's obviously a lot of spoilers in there. I mean, big spoiler is obviously Space Junkers is coming, but there's quite a fun sort of treasure hunt thing that you can do, which is what an ARG is, that you can follow to kind of, you know, put the pieces together. Emphasis on pieces, put the pieces together. So yeah, follow the link. I've shared the link in chat. It should be on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook now. Everything you need to know is in that. So go have a look. So I'm going to set a timer. For 5, let's try again. Yeah, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes talking about that ARG and kind of what went into it. So if you want to stick around to listen to the work that went into it, that's fine. If you don't want to listen to that and you want to experience it yourself, come back in 5 minutes and we will get into the good stuff of today's stream, which is going to be... tier list, yeah. So I'm going to start the timer now. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That's fair warn. If you don't want any spoilers for the Space Junkers event, this is now on you. So yeah, we ran an event. Now, we've done this before with Better Future. You may remember when we launched, or when we announced Better Future, we did a similar thing. It was a very linear kind of like, you go from point A to point B to point C, and then at the end was the announcement or the reveal that Better Future was going to be the next corporation coming to TerraTech. The problem with that was that it was too linear. It was too very much like we sort of started it, and then it was up to everyone that wanted to take part to kind of get to the end, which took a lot of the control away from us as the sort of communicators of that, as the community manager of that. It took a lot of control away from us because obviously once it's out there, it's out there. It's down to you to sort of figure it out. So we thought, well, let's give ourselves a bit more control. Let's do a more kind of, I guess, like whereas Bed to Future was linear, let's do like a more open world kind of situation where we could kind of leave breadcrumbs or sort of puzzle pieces around sort of some of our channels and in our Discord server, so that you could kind of figure that something was going on, and then you can kind of piece them all together. And once you've pieced all these little bits together, that's when the reveal will happen. So with that in mind, we kind of went about figuring out, well, what are the pieces that we could do. We have sort of all the channels that are at our disposal were things like, well, the channels we had was Discord, we had YouTube, we had I think those are the two main ones, YouTube and Discord. Oh, and obviously the live stream. So we thought, well, let's kick it off. Let's try and get as many eyes on it as we can. And we know that the live stream gets quite a lot of views. So we thought we'd kick it off with the live stream. And we hid a hidden message from Hubble in our live stream last week. So if anyone joined in the live stream, you would have seen the emergency broadcast from Hubble that went out in last week's stream. We actually played it twice because I was worried that people hadn't seen it, so I actually pressed the button again at the end. But yeah, so that had a game seed. Now, one thing that we didn't quite get right, which I would have liked to have done better, was to have that as make it more clear that it was a creative game save and not a campaign. I mentioned that, the message mentions that it's a campaign seed ID, but that can be loaded into creative as well as campaign. But anyway, that was the first piece, was the game seed ID. The next piece then came out the following day, which was the coordinates. So on our Discord server, a user by the name of Not Hubble released a rusty kind of message that got more and more rusty as the message went on. That's a slight nod. That was a nice little and literally the name, it was a GIF. It was a GIF image, so it was an animation, and the name of the GIF was rusty.gif, which was a nice nod to the Space Junkers NPC. So I was quite proud of that. And the coordinates that obviously would relate to the game seed ID. So the idea being you load into the game seed, the next step is then you go to these coordinates, and a fun thing happened. There was a bug that, I don't know where this bug came from, I don't know when it was introduced or where it came from, but a bug came out of nowhere that basically led a death marker, or just randomly would just add a death marker to the map. So players that had loaded in this game seed would load the map and find that there was this marker on there that they'd obviously never been to because it was a fresh game. So the ghost, and that was basically, while it was a bug, it kind of acted as quite a nice little red herring to sort of send them on the wrong diversion, which is quite interesting, quite fun. So the second piece was the coordinates. So players went, and if you follow the coordinates in this game seed, it will take you to this big monument, this big monolith structure sticking out of the ground. We would have hoped that would be the first sort of sign that something was going right, and a few people twigged on that was what should be happening. So that was the Thursday. Then the Friday, what did we do on the Friday? Oh, that was it. The Steam Workshop highlights video. So every month we will release some of our favorite things from that we found on the Steam Workshop from the previous month. So this month was obviously January, so we sort of compiled a list of techs, one of them being a tech or a mod, by user Not Hubble. You can see the theme, it was just a block. It was a modded block that didn't do anything. Literally doesn't do anything. I can categorically say that. It is just a block model. It looks even though it looks quite cool. Literally one of our artists made that block. So a lot of love went into that, which was really, really cool. So that was the first bit, which obviously said, so there's a monolith. There's a big transmitter block. There's something happening here. You've got to be on top of you've got to be on high ground to sort of get the transmitter to work. Maybe got the sort of neurons firing. So from there, the next piece went out on the Friday, which was was it Friday? Am I getting my days confused? Oh yeah, no, sorry. Ooh. Okay, that's been 5 minutes. I'm only halfway through. I'm going to add another 5 minutes. If you've come back and you're not looking for spoilers, come back in another 5 minutes. I should have given myself 10 minutes for this. So the coordinates went out. That was it. Then the Steam Workshop highlights was on the Friday. Then the Sunday, we did the Tech of the Week, which was just Hubble. The Tech of the Week was just Hubble. But if you were to load in the Steam Workshop link that was in the Tech of the Week, that was actually a game save. I usually link to a tech snapshot on the Steam Workshop. But this time I linked to a game save, which just looked like it was Hubble. But if you loaded the game save and you turned around, there was a massive QR code that you could scan with your phone that would then send you to a website that had a snapshot of a code encryptor. I can't quite remember what we called that bit, but that was a snapshot that you could then, if you attached it, so again, this is where the pieces are coming together. If you attached the tech snapshot to the transmitter in the coordinates of the game seed, that was sort of the final pieces coming together. Then the final piece was the code. So the tech that was loaded in with the transmitter had inputs. You had the ability to input 4 3-digit codes, and that would transmit a signal. So the very final piece of this whole thing was the code that would be input into this machine. And that was it. So then we wanted to leave. We could have left it a couple more days until we sort of gave a clue as to what the code would be, because otherwise you would have been there. If you wanted to try and crack it, I think it was possible, but you would have been there a very long time trying to crack that code. So rather than waiting weeks and weeks and weeks and sort of interest dying out, we decided to just give you a hint. So on Discord, Not Hubble posted or had it in their About Me section. Well, I was just really proud of this. A sort of an encrypted code, an encrypted message. So once you decoded it, it gave you the 4 3-digit codes for the transmitter. So then you'd go back into the game, input the codes, press the button, the transmitter would spark, and then you'd be faced with a dialogue from Hubble saying that, and this is what I'm really, really proud of, is we'd managed to fit all this into the sort of lore or the loose story of TerraTech. In that, if you remember, for anyone that's played the Better Future campaign, the last Better Future mission was Hubble, Bubble and Trouble. Which is where at the end of it, Hubble gets kind of kidnapped or taken off planet. And we've kind of put a nice little end to that little story by having Hubble be abducted by this this mystery corporation. And it gets revealed that the mystery corporation is space junkers, and that they're this kind of nomadic tribe that kind of move from planet to planet, kind of, rescuing and salvaging and rebuilding all this really cool tech. And Hubble had been working with them to try and find them a new home. So you can kind of think of Hubble as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. That was kind of like the vibe, unintentionally. Sebi's in chat. So Sebi, shout out to Sebi, who was the very, very, very first person to find and input the correct code in the correct location in the correct game seed. So so massive round of applause to Sebi for doing that. But realistically, it was a huge team effort. Everyone on our sort of Discord server was really sort of joining in. It was really, really fun, and it had the intended effect of us being able to announce that Space Junkers were coming to TerraTech in a really fun way, without using things like truce trailers and the standard stuff. And a massive shout out to the TerraTech team as well. If anyone from the team is watching, please give yourselves a shout out, or just give a big self pat on the back, because when we did the Better Future ARG, that was all out of game. Like, that had to be done through Twitter and all our social channels and Discord and a website, and we made all this really fun stuff out of the game. But just mainly for the fact that it's quite an expensive exercise for not much of a return. So it's quite hard to it's quite hard to pitch this idea to the powers that be that, hey guys, can we borrow like a coder's time, which is really expensive, for like a few days so we can do this really small thing. Anyway, it worked really well. I'm really pleased with it. And again, thank you to everyone in the community for being awesome. I think it went really, really well. And ultimately, the culmination of the whole thing was, the Space Junkers was the announced thing. And then once that had sort of we'd let that ruminate for a little bit. We let that kind of, what's the word? Oh, there we go. Okay, you can if you're planning on doing the ARG spoiler free, you can join in now. You can join back in the stream. With the end goal being, we let that marinate for a little bit. We let the idea that Space Junkers are coming marinate for a little bit, and then we released yesterday afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world. We released the Space Junkers trailer, and it's amazing. Do you want me to play it again? Shall I if you want to? I can press the button now and it'll play. Anyone want to see it again, or should we get into the game? What do you want? Game, tier list making, or Space Junkers trailer? What do we want? Let me know in the chat. Just a random guy says, I joined a bit late. Well, welcome anyway. Also, props to whoever made the encryptor. Yeah, so I think that was Django and Beltane. It may have been a joint effort. Okay, fine. Everyone's saying watch the trailer again. So let's watch the trailer. So I'm going to press the button in 3, 2, 1. So there you have it. Space Junkers. I'm not going to talk too much about what is or isn't coming with Space Junkers. I think the trailer kind of speaks for itself. So I'm not going to do too much. I just wanted to take the first part of the... sorry, was that a bit loud? Sorry. I just wanted to take the first part of today's stream to talk about the Space Junkers, but also the event that went into it. And I'm glad that we did it. And I'm glad that it was a bit, give you a bit of insight, give you a bit of flavour as to what work went into it. And kind of, the thought process behind it. So yeah, I hope everyone liked it. I definitely enjoyed doing it. So let's move on to today's order of business, shall we? Sebi has got a question, but I'll come on to Sebi. I'll come on to your question after I've started the game, because otherwise we'll be here all day. So yeah, today we're going to be doing a tier list again. We're going to be revisiting the tier list. So if you remember last week's stream, after I was rudely interrupted by... Oh, hang on. This isn't good. I didn't make a snapshot of the GeoCorp one. Oh no. We'll have to rattle through GeoCorp again. Never mind. We made a tier list of all the GSO weapons that can be seen in this tier list that I built all on my own because I'm big and clever. Let's go this way. But Sebi did. How long? Sebi asked a question which I will answer now. Sebi has asked, "How long have you guys been working on Space Junkers? I can tell stuff like the nailgun model were used in them, so it can't have been extreme long." Oh no, it's not been as long as the nailgun's been a thing. I think we added a nailgun because we just liked the idea of having a nailgun. That wasn't anything really to do with Space Junkers per se. I can tell stuff like the nail gun model were used. So yeah, how long? It's been about 12 months, 12 to 18 months, I think, since we started sort of conceptualizing it and kind of coming up with ideas about what the corporation were going to be, what kind of blocks they would add, what kind of new features they would add, that sort of stuff. Yeah, so it's been about 12 to 18 months, I believe. So yeah, cool. All right. Annoyingly, I don't seem to have a snapshot for the GeoCorp tech that we built for the GeoCorp weapons. So, sorry. Crikey, God. Yeah. Sebi makes a really good point. or tangentially makes a good point. The ARG isn't actually over. The Space Junkers event isn't actually over. So the end of it culminating in you send a signal to Space Junkers. Well, it turns out we need as many people as possible. This is I have a message from Hubble told me this, right? She sent me a message they sent me a message directly, which I'm now going to relay. They still need people, as many people as possible, to send the signal. We need as many people as possible to finish the event so that we can triangulate our position, and then it gives them a more accurate idea of where we are in the universe, and therefore Space Junkers can finally arrive. So there is actually a website that you can follow, which tracks all of the signals that have been sent. It is updated semi-regularly. But it has a little progress bar that you can follow. And basically, I think the gist being, as soon as that bar is filled, as soon as we have received as many signals as it takes, I think Space Junkers will arrive into Terratech. So yeah, if you want to see, I should have mentioned this earlier. I feel like this is what I was building up to and completely lost the plot. If you want Space Junkers to arrive into Terratech, get as many people as you know to send a signal using the event that we've just had. And we can get this corporation home. We can find Space Junkers a new home. Let's do that. Something that says time to create 300 Steam accounts. Someone that's, lad, if you want to buy Terratech 300 times, oh wait, you would just need to lend it. But by all means, buy it again, maybe. No, I'm joking. Don't buy Terratech. If you already bought it, don't buy it again. That's silly. Nicholas Rusher says, seems to be an 8th or the 9th of the way done. Yeah, so there's a lot more to go. So we need as many people as we can to follow the steps in the event, get the signal sent, and we'll be golden. But man, I wish I could send a signal, but I don't know how to deal with this. Head over to if you need some help, head over to our Discord server. There's plenty of people there that will be able to point you in the right direction, or maybe even be able to give you a little shortcut, maybe. Anyway, I forgot about that. So go do that. That'd be really helpful, and then we can get Space Junkers released to you know what I mean. Right, cool. Right, get back to the game. So here we are. This is the tier list. Now let's rattle through this because we did do this last week, and I've completely not saved it. So let's go back to GeoCorp weapons. Does anybody remember how we ranked these? I feel like oh no. Sebi asks, does a signal tracker count individual signals sent, or does it count the ones you send again, since you can press the signal as many times as you want, or you'll save once on your save? Sebi, so it is every unique signal that is sent. So from every unique user, it's tracking that, okay? So bear that in mind. So it just means that you can't just go in and spam. We need as many different people, as many unique people, and you are all very unique, to send it as possible. I can't remember where we did this, so maybe we'll start again. I'll rattle through this really quickly because we're already halfway through the stream, and I'm just starting off the tier list. I think it was this. I think this was here. Oh yeah, I remember now because it was such an awkward shape. Likewise for you. You were up here because you're a slightly different version of the of that one. This one, I feel Cerberus needs to go down here. No, it was up here because it was a bit bigger, a bit more cumbersome, but not overall. I think we were pretty happy with it. Can anyone remember? Anyone give yourself a shout out? The excavator was just big and okay. Maybe we'd got to this point. User on YouTube says, wait, I have a question. Will this happen to have different planets? The way the game kind of giving some mixed messages. I don't know what you mean by that. Anyway, let's rattle through these. So I think, tell you what, I'll put this mid tier. I think this deserves to be mid tier just because it is while as big as it is pretty awesome. So this is going to take the most time of this stream, is trying to find the right spot on the tier list to have this thing, because it's pretty awkward to place. And likewise, this other sawmill, what are they called? Excavator. Large excavator and the bustle, which is basically just a small excavator. I'd say they're mid-tier. Zyzon says, what the Cerberus is the GOAT. Do you agree that it should be higher up than where it is? I'm happy to move it if people want to move it. Oh, sorry. User says, sorry, I meant the way the game looks. Wait, I have a question. Will this happen to have a different planets? The way the game looks, kind of giving mixed messages. Okay, I can answer that. Well, I can pretty answer that categorically. No, there is just one persistent, procedurally generated planet in TerraTech. If you're asking about TerraTech Worlds, which I think you may be getting confused with, that's a question for the TerraTech Worlds team, which I am not on, unfortunately. But I think we can talk about this. I'm not sure. Actually, no, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to give too much away without realizing it. Will there be videos with translations into Russian, says Dragonworm. What videos are we referring to? I want to know what people think about this tier list. Does Cerberus deserve to be higher than S, A, B, or C? Or do the buzzsaw and the excavator, where are they going? I think mid-tier is pretty average for the buzzsaw. I think that's pretty fair. The angled jackhammer. I'm going to go... it doesn't feel... It feels okay-ish to be not in bottom tier. So let's put it B tier. Let's put it B tier just because it's kind of cool. It's a bit big, but it does, it's very accurate. A tier, Animation City saying A tier. I'm actually happy with that. Let's go A tier. Animation City says A tier. The jackhammer is going in the A tier. What else have we got? So now we're getting into kind of the more industrial. Oh no, we've got the angle jackhammer. Let's do the straight jackhammer. The straight jackhammer's also got to be S tier, or is it? Or is the jackhammer, the angle jackhammer? Feel like that's fair. The angle just feels a bit more. By the way, that animation. Let's just appreciate these animations, everybody. I know these are a bit trashed here, but they've got such a cool animation. Maybe they deserve to be higher because they've got a slightly better animation. Somnolent says A or above for the straight because it does good damage. I feel like yes, we should measure this against this. We should measure the angled against the straight. The straight I think is A tier because it does do good damage and it's pretty consistent. The angled is just a bit awkward, although it is a slightly more compact shape, therefore it makes it easier to place. Angled, oh good point. Angled is slightly it is a lower. Is a lower grade? No, it's not. It's the same grade. But Sebi is saying you get it earlier in the game. Maybe that deserves to be higher up then. Let's put it up here. All right, fine. We'll leave it there for now. We can always come back to this. The GeoCorp Cat 9 Flail Guard S tier, right? We're all agreeing that this is the S tier. Look at it. It's the equivalent of walking through the room doing this. If you get hit by my fists, that's your fault. I'm just walking here with my fists flailing. I feel like that's S tier, and I'm here for it. If that is the human equivalent of the flail, and all Animation City says it does look very cool. It does look very cool. I mean, to be fair, all the GeoCorp weapons look really cool. Do we have any objections to having the flail in S tier? I'm completely throwing functionality and damage out of the window. I'm throwing all that out of the window just for the meme of it being a bit of a chaotic block. Cat 9 is high B tier. Its bigger counterpart I feel would be A. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. There's a bigger one which I think is maybe not as big. Maybe it is. Both S tier. I'm happy with that. Look at that. Put them side by side. Oops. Put one on the back. Ignore that. That looks awesome. Scrap gum. People are talking about the animation city saying S+. I think they can both leave an S. I love them so much. Although I may be being a bit of a goof. What are people's honest opinions on it? I can be overruled. Sebi says, I see no reason to take the underused... Oh, hang on, sorry. I see no reason to take the flails off S. Good. They're quite fun and underused weapons. Sebi, thank you so much for that input. That is really useful. All right, cool. They're staying. They're staying in S. Which gives us the GeoCorp TB Thresher. This... has anyone actually used this successfully in a build? The GeoCorp TB Thresher combines a flail/grinder with a collector. Okay, so it has a lot of utility. But I will say it again. Has anyone actually successfully used this in a build? I'm thinking exclusively in campaign. Because it is just so big. But then again... Oh, Sebi's saying A or S. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe we put it A tier. Okay, everyone's saying A or B tier. Someone's saying it was on Latalan's Nomad. Okay, fine. It deserves to be higher up. Maybe I'm judging it too harshly. Just got to get in the right position. There we go. Oh, gosh darn it. Come on. Fine, you're going there. No, that's too high up. There? That'll have to do. That'll have to do. All right, A tier. We're happy with it. It gets trees and rocks, and it has its own collector which can feed into factory blocks with a filter. Okay, fine. So it does. Yeah, it's a good block. Fair enough. I get it. I'd underappreciated this block, I think, and it's only grade 2. To be fair, it's only grade 2. Considering I thought this would be like end game, like you get it once you've maxed out GeoCorp and you wanted to, sort of make it more efficient with your harvesting. But no, it's only grade 2. Plasma cutter, angled plasma cutter, S tier. I think this is probably one of the first melee weapons I had on my tech, and I love it, and it will always hold a place in my heart. The straight plasma cutter, I'm saying. Oh, Animation City is just saying all plasma cutters are S. Okay, fine. We're going all plasma cutters are S tier. I can get behind that. Even the mounted plasma cutter, are we happy with that? I guess so. It's just a slightly different version, isn't it? Sebi saying super useful, great damage when not against shields. Okay, that's fine. Do you know what? I'm more than happy with that. I can dig it. Mounted one is arguably A since it takes a lot of space. It takes up more space. I wouldn't say that it takes up a lot of space. Let's just I suppose that is a lot of space. Why has it got a whole does it gimbal? Does it like angle? Yeah, it must angle with itself. That makes sense. So yeah, that's why it needs an extra bit of cell space above it. Just so it can, I guess, move around. And it can 360 gimbal. Okay, fine. That, I think, should put it in S tier. I think. Just the fact that it's S tier, I'm fine with that. But plasma are usually mounted forwards and are compact, so you can have a lot. So yeah, that's why I think I like the OG plasma cutters, both angled and straight, is because you can just fill the front of your tech with them. And then you have nice little melee mitigation things. Those are words, aren't they? Cool. Let us move on. That's fine. So we have all the plasma cutters. I think that was quite easy. Nail gun. How do we feel about the nail gun? It's basically a shotgun, which we rated quite lowly, quite low down, sorry, for GSO. Rock Toxin is saying D tier. That is harsh, but I can see why. Sebi saying, I've basically never used a railgun. Animation City, the guy with the name with Kenji letters. No, your question didn't get answered. Oh, I'll come back to that. If someone can remind me, I will come back to that. Rock Toxin saying it's big and does nothing. I think we can put it D tier. D tier is looking a bit lonely, with just the scoops. So maybe we'll add the scrap guard in for now, and we can come back to it. GeoCorp Catapult. C tier feels right. C tier feels right for the catapult. It's just a glorified mortar. C at best. I think C is right. Jay's 4x41029 on Twitch is saying B. Rock Toxin is saying C. Portalizer on YouTube is saying B. RB Mirror saying B. C feels right. Awesome sauce. Oh, what an awesome sauce. Yeah, that's fine. D tier. Awesome sauce, because no auto aim and no auto aim at all. Well, there is none. Oh, no, there is no auto aim. It doesn't gimbal. It doesn't spin. It literally is. You have to just, and because the projectiles are so slow, this is why this. Maybe it's D tier. Maybe it's just rubbish. Oh, so A use awesome. Sorry. Maybe it's D tier because when you think about it, you've got to aim at where you want it to go. Because I don't think it gimbals. It doesn't. It doesn't turn on its own. It doesn't auto aim. So you have to manually aim this catapult. You then have to press spacebar, and it takes a while to reload as well. I think this thing takes a few seconds to reload. Awesome Sauce. I'm just going to call you Awesome Sauce because I think that's a much better name in my opinion. So I'm just going to call you that, and it's also easier to say. You hit spacebar, and because the projectile is so slow, it's most likely that the enemy has probably moved from the position that they were when you were trying to shoot them. So, I mean, I appreciate the novelty of it. It's a very novel block. The functionality, I think maybe it deserves to be C tier. Maybe D would be a bit too harsh. Sorry, am I missing questions? Somnolent saying the reload animation is pretty good, but C or lower. Yeah, I'm happy with C, only because I know the amount of work that went into it. As well is sort of maybe affecting my judgment. I'm going to move this because that looks a bit messy there. So I'm just going to whoopsie. Right, fine. C tier is fine. Have I missed any questions? Sorry, I'm just going to retrack chat. I want to ask, will crafting and scrapping ever get an overhaul? There are some bugs in my system I can't fix. So, I can say, I think with some confidence, that Space Junkers have got some quite interesting crafting mechanisms that might mix things up, will hopefully mix up the crafting environment, I guess, if that, for lack of a better word. I'm not going to say too much more on exactly how that's going to work because I actually don't know. I just know that it's going to be really cool. So we'll have more info on that in the near future or as soon as Space Junkers is released. So if you want to see all the new Space Junker stuff, go and finish the event. Get all these signals sent so we can get Space Junkers into back to TerraTech as quickly as possible. So no, I hope that answers your question. Cool. Right, moving on. So we've done the scrap gun, we've done the catapult. Mortar. This feels about as mid-tier as it gets. Right? I think mid-tier for this. What? So, the block placement on this game is infuriating. There, right. Any more takers on C tier or B tier for the mortar? It's big, but it does absolutely no aiming whatsoever. I feel like for what it does, there are better melee weapons. Because this only really affects an area around your tech. If you can build within the arc, if you're able to build your tech within the arc of what this weapon, or the damage that this weapon can do, there are other melee weapons that would be able to do more than what this does. And also, it gives you literally a building restriction. You can't use this tech on big techs. You can't use this block on big techs. Let's see how it works. All right, ignore all the other weapons. Just focus on this weapon. Okay, it's not going to fire because never mind. Let's move over here. Is that going to work? It's still not going to work because there's too many friendly blocks above it. Never mind. I think B tier is fine. It doesn't deserve to be any higher. As someone who played mainly ages ago, I don't think I've ever seen... The Mortar's relatively new. Yeah, it's quite a new block. Someone on YouTube, forgive me, I can't pronounce that. That's too many consonants and not enough vowels for my English tongue. I'm honestly amazed with how much attention and content you put into this game, even though it's so old and your hard work adds a new one, and bam, we get a new faction. It's because we love you all. It's because we love making new stuff. We love supporting TerraTech. We're still here. We're not going anywhere. And this is a fun little fact. I don't know if you may not know this, but I think it's okay for me to say. There are two different teams. There's two teams working on TerraTech and TerraTech Worlds. We have a TerraTech 1, or TerraTech, is a team of not that many devs. So myself included, I think there's 8 or 9 of us, maybe not even that many. That includes QA, design, coders, producers, and then TerraTech Worlds. That's the big brother now. And that's got all of the developers working on it. So they're two different teams, which allows us to continue to develop TerraTech and do more fun stuff like Space Junkers. TerraTech is going to be like Minecraft and Terraria. They're thriving games that will live for much longer. That's the plan. How old is the game anyway? Good question. So we had our 8th birthday last year. Or was it our 8th or 9th? Maybe it was our 9th birthday last year. I forget. It's been in early access. I think we were counting when we went into early access. So since we went into early access, the game has been available to buy for about 9 years now. It's been released. I mean, I've been working here since it was released. So I'm here. It'll be 6 years in August or July. So it's been officially released for nearly 6 years. You may call it old. We call it aging gracefully. I feel like it's a bit fairer to say. But yeah, no, it's we know how. I think we're quite unique. I like being unique, and I think we're quite unique in that we're still able to support the game and provide everyone with new content. Everyone owns the game with free content, I might add. Let me just reiterate that this is free as well. This isn't DLC. This isn't paid stuff. We're just doing it because we want to do it. We're very lucky, and not many people get to do that. So yeah, big thumbs up, and also big thumbs up to the community for letting us do this stuff. I love it. I genuinely can't believe, I'm gushing now, but I can't believe that I get to do this every Wednesday. I can't believe I get to make an awesome ARG that's really fun and has people really engaged with it. I can't believe I get to make videos. Like, as someone that really likes making videos, I really like making them, and it's really fun. Just really cool. It's really, really cool. Anyway, stop gushing. We're not going to have time to do any venture. Maybe we can start the venture tier list. Fine. So we've done mortar. Any more takers on C tier for B tier for mortars? For the mortar, I'm happy with B tier. Scrap gun. It's just a glorified shotgun. Trash tier. Let's just see how it performs. Okay, it's got quite a big range, to be fair. So they'd be saying the scrap gun has the highest damage in the game. Maybe. Oh, everyone's saying straight to S. Okay, wow, that's the biggest leap. Who put me in charge of this stupid idea? Okay, fine. I can concede. That is a leap though. From absolute trash tier to god tier for the scrap gun. Everyone's saying it's got the highest weapon, highest damage in the game. I'm happy to put it in C tier. I think just for the hilarity of having it spewing out loads of broken venture parts. How do we feel? Can I say this? Here's a bit of a sneak peek. Maybe I said I wouldn't. I said I wouldn't talk more about what's coming with Space Junkers, but this feels a bit more. I think we're gonna turn the scrap gun, into a reticle research weapon. Not reticle research. Sorry, Space Junkers. That's the old new corporation. I'm talking about the new corporation that's coming to TerraTech. I think the scrap gun is getting turned into the Space Junkers. It's getting a reskin, So okay, fine. Everyone is agreeing. That's fine. I can take that as a positive. Yeah, rebranding this. I think that may have been the idea. I think when we made the scrap gun, we were kind of thinking, well, yeah, fine. Lord RV says the scrap didn't make sense in a mining corporation. I still remember the style switch. Okay, cool. It does fit. To be fair, it does fit Space Junkers perfectly. The whole like, yeah, repurposing ideology. Here's a fun thing as well. How do we feel about that? Maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't want to get cancelled. The term hillbilly, is that a socially acceptable thing to say? Because we like the idea that space junkers are like wholesome hillbillies. So like they're just like, you know, they're the type of characters that will, if you're like broken down on the side of the road, they'll get like a broom and a bit of grass and fix your car and get you back on the road so you can get yourself to a repair shop. I mean, we'll probably never say that publicly because, again, we don't want to be too... Maybe it's a bit too close to the bone. I don't know. But that was kind of that was one of the philosophies of Space Junkers, with these sort of wholesome hillbillies. I came up with that. That's why I'm talking about it. Cool. All right, moving on. So I don't want to get myself cancelled or the game cancelled. No, I don't want to load a tech. I want to load a block. Oh, no, that's everything. Okay, fine. I think this is it. Space Bros. Oh, good night. Thank you to the Japanese player who I think was just joining us. I can't read your name, but thank you for joining and have a good evening. The Space Junkers guy seems like he seemed like head chew on a straw of wheat. Sorry. The Space Junkers guy seems like he chew on a straw of wheat. Exactly. Kanji guy. Let's call them Kanji guy. Again, hopefully I'm not being too offensive. Would it ruin the game if there were biological alien creatures? I don't know. Ruin it how? Ruin it the theme a little bit? I think having kind of biological... Let's go to close-up. No, let's not go to close-up. Let's talk about this. I'll talk about it in a second. Hang on. The triple bore is definitely a lot better than the explosive launcher. We can move it up. Awesome Source has made a valid point. The Cerberus light bore doesn't feel like it should be on the same tier as the catapult, and I can appreciate that. Sunny on Twitch says, "Will Space Junkers have tracks?" You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to get Space Junkers into TerraTech before anything will become clear. So the best way to do that is to get the get the signal sent, do the event, and we'll get Space Junkers into TerraTech. Super. All right, cool. I think we're cool with this. So let's just recap. The scoops and the nail gun are absolute trash tier, less than useless. Who actually would even use them or choose to use them? The diamond drills, both articulated and fixed. C tier. In some certain circumstances, may be useful. If you didn't have a plasma cutter, for example, maybe you could settle for a diamond drill. But for the most part, there are much better options that come earlier and are probably cheaper than these as well. Then we have the caterpillar. Sorry, caterpillar, not caterpillar at all. The catapult. Catapult, I think, yeah, catapult. It does something, but it's kind of tricky to use. It's quite expensive. It's grade 2, so it's, you know, it's not exactly, well, it's not quite end game, but it's not quite early game either. What else? And then these just do damage. These are always good to have. Are the excavators? Actually, I'm going to contradict myself. Maybe is the big excavator? Yeah, no, because that range of damage is huge. You have to be in this area for it to do damage, which is quite big. Awesome Source is saying I'd honestly move Catapult. So you'd move Catapult to trash tier and leave Cerberus where it is. Animation City, I can link it to you. Give me 1 second. So here is the event. If you want to follow the steps in the event and without any spoilers, I've just shared a link in chat. So go follow that. Hopefully that should get you to where you need to be, and you can send the signal so we can get Space Junkers into TerraTech as soon as possible. Okay. The excavator is often treated as the weapon you think is good, but is actually terrible. But again, it's still a pretty cool excavator. Yeah, that's the other thing, actually. These are just a bit dull. They just do spinny things. This does like big spinny things, and it looks awesome. Maybe we bring the Buzzsaw down. I think the Buzzsaw is just... I mean, let's see. Buzzsaw is grade 2. I think this should be grade 1 because... these are grade 1, and I don't know if it does much more damage. It does. The description says it is good for felling trees. But how many times have you needed to fell a tree? You know, maybe we'll bring this down. That feels about right. And then we can shift this over. Okay, so basically what we've done there is we've swapped the Cerberus drill for the Buzzsaw. That feels right. So you're saying, I swear the Buzzsaw was grade 1. I can move it to grade 1 if people can make a good enough case for it. Crescendo on YouTube says, hey Matt, I've been playing TerraTech and I love this game and I wish to add a screenshot so that I can show you some items that I don't think I'm supposed to be in the game. If you want to do that, hit me up on Discord. Just send me a message on our Discord server and I can take a look. That would be really useful. And I can investigate. Cool. Monster6 on YouTube says, I should try flail on some tech. Do it. I'm pretty happy with that. That feels about right. I mean, GeoCorp looks like they've got a lot more S-tier weapons than I was expecting. For a corporation that doesn't... oh yeah, sorry, I'll send you a link now. For a corporation that doesn't pride itself on... or their main purpose isn't... like fighting or combat, they've got some pretty good weaponry. And you compare that with GSO, which maybe you'd argue would be the same. Maybe just GeoCorp have got more weapons? I don't know. Somnolent says, remember to snapshot. You are my hero. Let's do GeoCorp. We upon Tierlist. Let's just do GeoCorp. Let's just do that for now. Fine. That feels good. Oh, there we have it. That's the GeoCorp tier list. I mentioned in the description of the stream that we'll be doing Venture as well. But because I spent far too long talking about the Space Junkers event, we have run out of time. But we'll do it next week. So next week, we're going to get straight into it. We're going to do Venture and Hawkeye. And then the week after, we'll do Better Future Hermetical Research. And then the week after that, we'll then take all of the S-tier weapons and rank them against each other. That's what we're going to do. And it's going to be fun. I think we're going to leave it there, chat. We've got 5 minutes left of stream. Does anybody have any questions? Does anyone want to ask me anything while I'm here? I am the voice that you need to listen to. No, that sounded weird. Oh, Animation City, you missed it, man. What happened to the achievement hunts? We finished. We gone did it. I did it. Yeah, I timed it perfectly. to be on the final stream of the year. I'm getting a really numb backside. I know this is too much information for everybody, but I've been sat on this chair and my bum's going numb. Yeah, it's on YouTube. If you want to go check it out, I think it should be we did it on our festive stream, which should be on our YouTube channel somewhere. So go check that out. Thresher is main weapon for my harvester. Thresher is very strong. Those posters behind you look so cool. Let me show you. Let's get rid of this. Can you see all that? I can't really. I don't really want to move the camera, but yeah, all those posters are wrong way. All those posters are really cool. I particularly like the GSO one. Yeah, they are pretty cool. Also, I've just realised there's the Halloween tech. If anyone remembers, we did a Halloween giveaway. Oh, I can't point. This tech here was one of the winners of the Halloween giveaway, and we've printed their poster and put it up. The spooky car. So yeah, shout out to whoever did that. Brendan Baker on YouTube says, "Why did you do Space Junkers over Legion? No hate, just question." Why did we do Space Junkers? I think because there was some things that we wanted Space Junkers to do before Legion. Now that's not saying that we'll do. I think it's pretty obvious. We probably will do Legion at some point. We're not going to try and treat. We're not going to insult your intelligence and say, "Oh, we don't know if we'll do Legion or not." Oh, hang on, let me put my border back up. You know, we're not going to insult your intelligence. We probably will. But just things like the scrap gun and the harpoon were just fun things that we wanted to work on before we did Legion. We know Legion's going to be a big thing. In my mind, for what it's worth, Legion's all about AI and, you know, getting it to do your homework, for example. Like, you know, just ChatGPT basically, but in Terratech. Yeah, so that's sort of where I see with Legion, which is quite hard. You know, it's quite hard to make AI. So, yeah, we need some time to do that. So we just thought, well, let's just do Space Junkers first. And also, I think Legion would be a nice thing to end, well, not end it, but like would be a nice bookend for the corporations. That's not to say as well, by the way, that we might just do different corporations. We might make one up. The only reason we're thinking of doing Space Junkers and Legion next, or doing Space Junkers and then maybe Legion, is because they were just part of the, you know, way back in the day when we were conceptual, when we were sort of doing the concept work for Terratech, was just because these were the 6 or 8 corporations that we just sort of came up with. But yeah, there's no reason, you know, then obviously things change. So yeah, we sort of stuck with what we've got. But, you know, once we've done, if or when we do Legion, I think we're probably sliding on the side that we probably will do Legion. If or when that happens, you know, there's other stuff that we can do after that. Maybe water. Genuinely, maybe water. Who knows? Don't quote me on that. But, you know, we've kind of, I think we're all been a bit surprised with how far we've come with Terratech. And we've kind of done a lot of the cool stuff that we wanted to do, like co-op crafting and new corporations and So who knows? Maybe we can get around to actually adding water or some sort of water to the game. Don't quote me on that. We don't actually know if that's going to happen or not. So yeah. A modding overhaul. That would be a lot of work. Is there going to be any sort of official modding overhaul? I'd be interested to know what you mean by that. What kind of stuff would you like to see? If you've got ideas, please put them in our Discord chat server, because I'd quite like to know what you mean by that. Cool. All right, I am at the end of the stream, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much to everyone for stopping by. Make sure you head over to our Discord server or the links that I've shared in chat if you want to try and help complete the Space Junkers event. And until next week, have a good one. See you later, guys. Bye. Wait, where's my button? There it is. See you later.